Hey there to my friends at Cats. I have a confession to make in this, our first video series. And the confession is this: I love spreadsheets. I began my career many, many years ago at Arthur Andersen, and then I had this weird opportunity to run manufacturing company, the operations half of a manufacturing company. And in that responsibility, I was acted like the controller. I was responsible for all cost accounting and closing the books every month and preparing financial statements and that sort of thing. And most entrepreneurs don't think that that's the fun piece of their job, but for some odd reason, even though I'm not the most detail oriented person you'll meet, I loved it. I loved at the end of the financials when everything would tie itself out, even if I had to spend half a day looking for 50 cents somewhere. I love the fact that I knew this is true, this is ideal, and this is perfect. It all makes sense to me. Now, unfortunately, in today's environment, that is what we do not have. We do not have certainty. We do not have perfection. We're not certain exactly the way things are going to go. The little bit of certainty we did have, this April 15th deadline, has been moved back. And so when all of this certainty disappears, our brain begins to wonder, what if my kids don't go back to school? What if they move the deadline again? What if my clients don't love me? What if my boss keeps acting irrationally? What if this pandemic keeps spreading? What if, what if, what if? And what I think we need to do here for all of us who love spreadsheets, me and I'm assuming most of you, is we need to embrace this idea that perfection is our enemy and uncertainty is something we need to get used to living with right now. And when that happens, when we have to learn how to get used to living with uncertainty, and we recognize that perfection is an ideal we can't aim for every single day, we have to ask ourselves a simple question. And that is, what is within my control? And in a 24-hour period, what are those things that I can control? Well, here's what I think you should focus on. What does my manager want from me? What do my peers want from me? What does my client want from me? And that is my most important client who needs something from me today. What do my kids need from me? What does my spouse need from me? What does my family need from me? Ask yourself those questions every day. And if you can come up with a good answer for just those questions for just a 24-hour period, you will then have just controlled the things you can control. Now, when you begin to feel anxiety and anxiousness over the fact that you don't know exactly how everything's going to turn out, which I feel, which we all feel, those of us that love spreadsheets, take a deep breath and let it go and say, I will control what I can today, and tomorrow will take care of itself. Thanks so much for allowing me to be a part of this journey, because one thing I know for certain, the truth is, Cats hires talented, sharp people. And just because you're nervous, just because you're worried, you're the same talented, sharp, driven, focused person you were back in January of 2020. Stay focused on that truth, control the things you can, and get okay with a little bit of this uncertainty right now. Look forward to talking to you next time.